Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Spider Runs. Oh my days, we just saw a nice little intro. It's all new, it's all kicking off. I mean, it's not really that new, we're all the same stuff. But we're back with new runs and races. I am Spyron, and I am joined by Chuck today. Chuck, welcome in. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Honestly, that is a fantastic opening video. What a great way to start off the official tournament tonight with such a well-crafted video.
Indeed. Shout out to Spyron who made that. That's definitely not me. Self shout out. All good. Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have a triple bout of races for you today. It's very exciting. We are starting off with Nilo versus the Flying Felicia, followed by Zojalix versus Crypto, and finishing off with Monch versus Chuck Nicey. Now, you'll notice we have obviously different categories based on where they are in the current knockout stages. So you'll see that Nilo's is a winner's quarters, thanks to their seeding with Felicia. Zo and Crypto and Monch and Chuck are the winners 8th, so the previous round, if you like, just based on their seeding as well. So it'll be an interesting couple of races. We'll get to see who goes up against myself and Sotalia after these 2 days as well, which should be nice. So we're starting off strong with winners quarters then, and it is Nilo versus Felicia. Now, if we take a look at the stats, some stats have changed a little bit. I've put in seed numbers so you can see based on the results from rounds 1, 2, and 3 of the initial stages, how well they did and where they are as a result. So Nilo peaking slightly ahead of Felicia in at seed number 4 with Felicia's seed number 5. Race times though, Nilo is, as compared at least to best race time, he's up there with myself, Willy Fetty, and Sotalia, very close to that 30, that flat 30 mark. Chuck, tell me a little bit about both runners and what you think going into this race.
Well, before we get on to Felicia real quick, I do want to make a quick mention for those who may have missed it, but Nilo was originally a PC runner for the game who decided to pick up an emulator to join us for this particular tournament, having, correct me if I'm wrong, having never run any PlayStation categories in the past, and already proving to be one of our absolute heavy hitters in this particular tournament. So that cannot be overlooked. As far as Felicia is concerned, total of 4 categories, all 4 of them on PlayStation. Seed number 5, just below, and a pretty solid time of 35:16. In fact, I think that matches my PB as it shows up on the speedrun leaderboards.
Yeah,
So
it's pretty good.
So
it's
an
pretty
absolutely
good.
solid time.
Yeah, I think both runners with something to prove here, but these kind of both the top end of potentially the bracket. So we'll see. The winner of this one, I believe, will go on to face the winner of, I believe, Sotalia's race, and then the winner of either Monch or yourself, Chuck, whoever wins that one versus Sotalia. We'll go on to face one of them. So it's all to play for. Of course, this is double elimination. So one loss does not mean you are knocked out completely. We do have a losers bracket that will be played through as well. Important to remember. So it's not the end of the world if runners lose today or during their races, just in general. But 2 losses will eliminate you now from the tournament. So crunch time. It is crunch time for sure. As let's go take a look now, as I believe both runners are here and ready to go. We'll make sure that they're all set before we get started, and we'll start this very soon.
I'm noticing Nilo's little thing right here with his head bouncing around the different corners of the screen. Love that. Looks like he's got the emulator menu up right now.
Yeah, the DVD player. I like it.
That is a very, very nice feature.
Okay, right. It does look like both runners are ready. So let's count them down in 3, 2, 1. Off they go, and they should be starting any second now. There we go.
With faster reactor time.
So pretty comparable. Only about a second there between each runner starting. So we shall see. As Felicia running on hardware, versus Nilo's emulator. And Nilo, again, to mention, you can see at the bottom left of his webcam, he's actually using keyboard controls as well. That's something as well to note. He's not even using a controller. Pure keyboard warrior.
Indeed. Of course, that's only possible with the emulator, which is a favorite of a lot of our runners for this tournament, but almost a necessity for Nilo in order to participate, which honestly, it's wonderful that this community is accepting of emulators, that they put it on the equal respect of hardware, even though we do have separate categories for hardware versus emulator, even though the emulator does do a good job of emulating the same speeds of the hardware. I got tripped up a little bit watching Felicia's. Looked like they let the cutscene go for just a little bit.
Yeah, I think
I wonder what
the
the
timer got a bit stuck by the looks of it. I think they accidentally pressed the wrong button to split. So he's taking it, and he's continuing the run anyway, so that's fine. And onwards we go, as on top of the bank, about to enter the bank. So we shall see. Yeah, you were speaking about emulator. Emulator definitely the most accessible way to run this game for sure, just because it's very straightforward. If you know what you're doing, to just set it up and get running as soon as you like, or just playing casually even as well. So regardless.
Indeed. Nilo having a little bit of hiccups there with the hostage situation, but still getting through quite fast. And Felicia following in behind. Looking like they're having a little bit of issues with their playback.
Yeah, just if you... hopefully Felicia's tech issues will clear. I have been told that there is a tornado warning in their area, so if anything breaks, it may be due to storms, which is kind of out of our control, but we'll see. Hopefully we don't have to put anything short here in this race, as Nilo making good pace so far. Oh, he's opting to pick up the bomb with one of the bank robbers still there, throws it over his head. Nice, okay. That can be quite risky. If you do get shot while with the bomb, Spider-Man will just drop the bomb, which obviously loses you a bit of time, but that's fine.
Thank you.
Enters the safe. 134. Pretty good.
Fantastic stuff. A really solid time for that bomb disposal. Felicia coming in with their bomb. Let's see. Going for a bit of walking, trying to line up that bomb.
Yeah, walking definitely
number
slower than the
2.
jumping.
Almost thought it would get caught up on the metal detector. Luckily, we're safe there. And coming in about 5 seconds slower than Nilo with that bomb disposal, at least according to that timer. But a pretty solid performance nonetheless. I'm really hoping that the tornado doesn't mess with them too much. I'm not looking to get beat by Monch too quickly.
Yeah, I see. Ah, okay. Fair play. Well, Nilo not looking to get beat by Scorpion. He will be on his way there shortly, and hoping, I guess, more so to not get beat by J. Jonah Jameson, who does seem to be more the troublemaker than Scorpion most times in these runs. We shall see if the one cycle is in his destiny. As Felicia now, yep, starting the same level, approaching the same point.
Looks like Denny got her. Or Denny got him. I call the thugs that like to shoot Spider-Man out of the air in this particular mission, I call him Denny. And it can really mess with your placement when you're getting to the buildings, which can throw off your time by seconds depending on how low you fall.
Yeah,
but Nilo.
Oh, especially if you do that as well.
Clean Scorpion. And yes, Felicia getting hit by Denny. Any one of the Dennys there.
Yeah, I've seen a few instances of posts in the Discord where they'll get shot literally as they jump off the building and they'll fall, and there's nothing you can do because you're stuck in the animation and you just fall straight to your death. So luckily, Felicia getting shot earlier than when jumping, which is not ideal, but it's still nicer than being shot and just falling to your death. So that's always good.
Yeah, absolutely agree. Oh, speaking of which, I knew I resigned from commentating for some reason, but poor Nilo getting shot, I believe, as they were trying to move to the next building, or maybe the explosion caught them, knocked them out of the air and down into the void. This will give Felicia exactly what they need to try to catch up.
Yeah, Felicia, we can see obviously the feed. Just bear with the feed, everyone, please. It is going to
Hmm.
catch up, hopefully. But we can kind of get a picture of what's being going on here. So,
Right.
looks like Felicia, yeah, not too far behind now as a result of that, but still behind at the minute. Which reminds me, actually. There we go. The overlay, that'd be good if I remembered how to do that. There we are.
Indeed. But it does look like Felicia's putting on a good show, although with the technical difficulties, I don't know if this will be submittable on the leaderboards if this does end up being a PB to submit. But I still have every faith that Felicia's going to put on a great performance and get a great time.
Indeed. Both runners now climbing the building. Missile attack to dodge their missiles. Perhaps the loudest level in the game, but that's okay. We try to make sure everyone's awake at this point during the run. It's a good time to get woken up, ready for the rest of the levels. Felicia looking to dodge the little sniper shooting down. And looks like I think did so there. Well, I don't know. maybe not. That's fine. Now both Nilo and Felicia on to the next level, making the way over to scale the girders, which will be the next major point in this race where potentially different strategies could come into play. Will both of them attempt the flying spider? Will only one? Not sure. I think Nilo, obviously the discoverer of the flying spider technique, I'm sure will try and go for it.
Yeah, I would be very surprised if Nyla decides to skip out on doing the flying spider skip. Felicia, I don't know if we've seen them perform that skip in the past.
Yeah.
So that'll be very interesting. That could be what they need in order to help even up the odds, especially if Nilo ends up messing up the trick once or twice before getting it.
Yeah, it looks like he's going for it. So here we go. On the very far edge of the box. See if this lineup is correct. And it is. And down and across he will go into the flying spider. Straight across to the other side of the level. Brilliant.
No
So,
surprise that that worked. I haven't seen that particular setup, but no surprise that it worked, especially considering that Nilo did discover this particular skip. Now, hopefully the feed will be kind enough to show us if Felicia can do the
no.
same. Looks like Felicia is not going for it this time. Getting a little caught up in the girders themselves.
Yeah, it's a bit tricky to navigate at this point. Just if you don't get that initial zip onto the part of the girders that you like, fidgeting Spider-Man around, especially when he likes to roll in the opposite direction that you point in, depending on which way around you're kind of oriented when you first start pressing buttons, it can be a bit fidgety, but all is well,
Right.
all is well.
The crawling in
Oh,
this version of Spider-Man is quite nuanced. Go ahead.
and in fact, it looks like Felicia, I don't know, died or restarted there, but it looks
Oh,
like
so
back
I
to the beginning
see.
of girders, yeah, and back up again.
Oh
Number
no.
two.
This is precisely the opposite of what Felicia needed to help out with this.
Indeed, especially with Nilo having a very smooth Rhino, going for the combination strat. Hecking combinations all over Rhino's head. That's what we like to see. And he'll progress on to the Venom levels.
Amazing. Now let's see how that chase turns out.
Yeah,
What
Felicia.
is Nilo's strat? Let's see it.
Let's see. Oh, yeah. Okay, opting to go around the buildings. Felicia, it looks like, has managed to make it to the top of the girders this time. We'll skip the cutscene. And it is on. Okay, so third time lucky for Felicia. In the meantime, Nilo taking the outside route. Very good if you're well practiced with it. Oh, that was like almost a
I
little
think he
flying
was
spider
about to
trick there.
do a fly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have been interesting. I don't know how that would have played into this level particularly. I've never seen that attempted before, but that could have been fun.
Might not be a terrible way to gain height if need be, but that is not something that I've seen before. And I have to wonder where Nilo would have gone if he had attempted the spider. Would it have allowed him to swing straight to the construction building? Or would it have taken him wildly somewhere else?
Yeah, I guess we can maybe quiz him about that afterwards. I don't know if that was intentional then or not, but we can always ask. I'll make sure to remember that. as Felicia now making the way to the end of the police chase levels, and will now progress onto Rhino themselves. We'll see if Rhino's as kind to Felicia as he was to Nilo.
Perhaps even kinder, help even this race out a bit.
Indeed,
Let's
Nilo
see
with
it.
semi-substantial lead at the minute, making the way to the end of the initial Venom chase and into the first Venom fight soon. Felicia looks like he's locked in nicely to the web dome strat. Defeat Rhino, sorry, there. Goes down nicely, fairly quick, and still a decent amount of web captures left over as well, which is always useful.
Absolutely. And a beautiful execution of the second half of the Venom chase, losing hardly any height at all, managing to swing straight towards the actual corner of the building without getting a corner fall, and moving on to the boss fight with no issues whatsoever.
Indeed, and a reminder to everyone who's watching who has missed us for the last 2 weeks why the PlayStation port is superior. You'll see it now in this level with Venom. You can press L2 to lock onto Venom, know exactly where he is before he even fully spawns, which is always useful, and it's always the worst part, I think, of running every other port. At least I find, coming from PlayStation. It's not fun.
Nostalgia is a good enough reason for me. Now, Nilo missing an input for the kick punch combo, causing another phase for Venom, losing a little bit of time there, ever so slightly, but still losing time.
Yes. Something he can afford to do, luckily, at this point. But
Oh,
Felicia
absolutely.
will progress slightly closer to evening the odds here, as Nyla now. To the pipes. Will he go over? Will he go under? Looks like over is the strategy of choice. Keeping it nice and safe, as
Indeed.
can be a decent time loss. It's not terrible if you do die on this level, just because it is obviously the very start of the level with the pipes, but jumping along that corridor again isn't fun, especially when the last swing is right at the end and that's the swing you fall on. That's not ideal, but there you go. All lizards defeated. We'll move on to the next level and to the next set of pipes, perhaps the most important set of pipes in the entire game. We love them.
Absolutely. Let's see if we get these pipes. Are we going to get demigod pipes, god pipes, or devil pipes? We'll find out here shortly. Felicia heading into the Venom boss fight, if the slideshow is any indication.
There we go.
All right, let's see Nilo do it. There's one pipe.
Skipping straight
Pipe
to 3.
3, 4, 5.
Oh, stick it.
And we get a demigod pipe
Oh.
with a nice little stick, unfortunately. And
Yeah.
Felicia having a little bit of trouble with Venom as well.
Oh, the
Oh,
grab.
a second grab. Venom is not playing nice today.
Oh, okay, using the... Oh, it was nearly a nice little strategy there, using the web to slow Venom down to give Felicia a chance to put the web gloves back on, but still received a little whack from Venom there. That was a very quick second Venom spawn then. I feel like he spawned like instantly after disappearing. That's pretty crazy. That's fine. Okay, it looks like Felicia will manage to finish Venom off here in this combo, it looks like. There we go. Yep, that's the one. And yep, on to the next level as Nilo now inside the homies, taking a well-deserved break as he prepares for the next part of the run, which is where it gets crazy, of course, ladies and gentlemen, for those who have not watched a run before, potentially, or have forgotten because we've been away for 2 weeks. After Subway is where the skips really get heavy and can be a bit rough. So, Nilo, I'm sure, preparing. Nilo was telling me, actually, in the little interval that we had before while we were prepping the stream, that it was a Rubik's Cube competition over the weekend. Came third in 2 of the matches and first in one that was really interesting, actually. So he was telling me about how one of the tournaments that he competed in, this Rubik's Cube general tournament, you had to solve it in the least amount of moves possible. And you have an hour to look at a Rubik's Cube, figure out the least amount of moves possible to solve it, and he came first apparently with 25 moves on whatever combination it was. So nice of Nilo Law for you there, Rubik's Cube master in the making.
Which that sort of planning, forward thinking, and adaptability is what makes him one of the strongest runners, at least here in the Spider-Man community, for sure. It's not too surprising that he's such a Rubik's Cube champ.
Indeed. And actually, another kind of fun fact about this matchup in particular is I think Felicia probably most, oh gosh, nearly there. Felicia probably mostly well known for their hard runs. I think Felicia quite a big fan of hard mode. Nilo just recently coming in and taking the hard mode world record on emulator actually is, oh no, Felicia.
And we have a devil pipes. We have a devil
Oh.
pipes for Felicia.
Straight to hell.
That
Straight to
is
hell.
a shame.
Damn. Well, let's see. Oh gosh, Nilo running very close to the edge of the train there. That scared me a little bit. But lining up now to try and get a super train, trying to end the train early. Make sure
Train
that...
fallers rise up.
Indeed, yeah. Gosh, I wonder if we'll ever see that again now. Oh, look at that sneaky little lizard coming out of nowhere. Nilo thought he was done. One little
I
sneaky
think
lizard
that's
there.
gonna, yep, that's gonna get us a normal exit to the level, unfortunately. But that's only a 4 or 5 second time loss, I want to say,
Yeah, not
compared to quick ending.
Yeah, not too much time there wasted as far as time saves go, which is not too bad. We'll see if Felicia can get a faster ending to the train, as Felicia now makes their way to either be inside the homies or hugging the homies. Nilo trying to go for the quick skip through the little cutscene that plays there, choosing to make sure that lizard does not interrupt his moves here, as he's, yep, going to go straight for the fancy version of skipping through that gate. Successful, and a nice zip at the end as well. Moving to the
Very
switches,
nice
looking
zip.
nice.
Hardly any running at all to the ending of that level. Looks like Felicia is opting to hug the homies. Please be careful, because it seems that hugging the homies just increases your chances of falling through the train.
Indeed.
So I'm really hoping. Felicia has had some real tough luck when it comes to runs in the past, between getting the devil pipes just now and falling through the stage in Monster Rock. Hopefully we won't see that sort of bad luck again.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that. That's crazy. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's try not to get that again. Gosh, I can't believe we've had like no one has ever like barely anyone has the out of bounds on Monster Rock, and then I feel like we see 3 in like the span of 2 weeks, which is like insane. That just happened all at once. So hopefully, yeah, that's the end of that, and we've had the little streak of out of bounds on Monster Rock and no more. As Nilo tackling another difficult level here. Tunnel crawl, makes his way through very nicely, very fast. Gets to the end before the water even begins to rise. And now, I assume we will see a tunnel crawl skip here at the end. Looks like he's heading to the position, setting up along this line. You want to go to that bottom corner, aim there, and then he's locked in. Up the wall.
And there it is.
Down the wall, across, and nice.
I think he flew into that end level trigger. Isn't that something?
Yeah, just about there. Swung into a little funny position to then just float in. Very, very nice. And, oh, we're going to see it as well. It looks like he's going under the doors. He's trying to find the drop point. He's found it. Okay, here we go. And now, just
gotta
nice.
Be very careful not to accidentally zip between those doors. Because if he does, he's soft locked. He has done it. Look at that.
Beautiful. Love to see it.
Looks like Felicia opted to break away from the hug the homie strat early in order to just keep fighting these lizards. I hope that doesn't spell disaster for their cartridge count later
let's hope not. Yeah, there's not many cartridges that you can collect without veering way off track from this point onwards now, so Felicia will need to be conservative as possible with these web cartridges. Nilo getting some nice zips now towards the end of Lizard Maze here. Gets out of bounds fairly quickly. And we'll see now if Felicia can handle the skips as smoothly as it looks like as Nilo has now, making his way over to Venom 2. Over to the end of here, to the gate. Felicia approaches. See, going for the... Oh, I thought they were going to run now. Oh, doesn't quite get the line up either on the targeting mode.
And the lizards are gunning for them. Let's see it. That looks good. and we
Oh,
won't know.
suspense. Oh, no, it's
Nope.
not. Oh, Nilo actually, misses the first 2 web balls and gets a jump, but now the web glove's activated because of the web balls. So has to opt just to web ball Venom as he jumps over. Let's see if he gets another good jump. Does. Okay, only needs 1 more combo now. Finish Venom off. Another spawn over there. It looks like he's going to risk the jump again. Oh, and a stretchy
Oh
Venom.
my goodness, straight through the chain. I don't think I've seen that in particular. Also, that model for the for Venom's web was very strange. Perhaps
I
because
wonder
they
what
had to
decides
shoot
that.
through the chain.
Yeah, I wonder what decides that. So sometimes you'll see Venom grab someone via a web, or sometimes his hand just gets real stretchy and he'll do a stretchy hand and grab you that way instead. So I don't know what
Huh.
decides which animation Venom does. If one's faster than the other, I don't know. If you want one over the other, if he's going to grab you, I'm not sure. But there you go. You saw it in action today. And Nilo getting a bit unlucky there, but we'll move on nicely to Symbiote's Infest Bugle. It looks like he's going for the corner skip here, which allows you to go through the wall as long as you clip slightly out of bounds here. There we go. He's got the clip. We'll aim up the wall.
That setup is harder than it looks, as is the actual zip. But he's got it, and he's gonna
And he
move
lands
on.
the jump as well. Excellent. It looks like
Sure
Felicia
does.
has safely made the way as well through tunnel crawl. I assume this is not going to be a tunnel crawl skip. Looks like jumping straight forward. Yeah, going for the switch. That's fine. Nilo going all the way to the bottom floor, not risking the jumping into the loading zone. That is fine. Now on to all the presses.
Skipping that fourth floor doesn't save too much time at all, so it is better to have Nilo play it safe. He can really afford to play it safe for some time. I don't know if he's got the stream on in the background, but it does seem like he is knowingly taking some of these safer skips.
Yeah, plenty of time. Felicia, a good few levels behind at the minute, so Nilo's got plenty of time here if he does want to take some I guess less risky strats. There's Felicia. Oh no, getting stuck in the waterfall. Okay, good. Why does that waterfall have a hitbox? Question that every time. So incredible that they just put that in the game. Thank you, developers. That's fine. Felicia makes the way to the end. No hassle. Okay.
Nilo,
Basement skip.
let's see the basement skip.
Oh no.
And he's
Okay.
a little bit late, but we get to see the backup, perhaps.
Yes, I imagine so. Yeah, pops the web gloves on. Take this symbiote out so he doesn't get in the way. Here we go. Right. Not many people have attempted this, let alone hit this. So here we go. Out of bounds. And it's done it.
Oh, yes,
yeah.
he has. I was a little afraid there. I thought maybe he needed to go a little further away from that generator, but looks like he's just fine. Moving on to Mysterio.
Excellent. The power of the backup strats. Always useful. Especially in those situations. So as he fights Mysterio now, Felicia is making the way through Lizard's Maze. Not getting as many zips as they'd like, it looks like. Getting a bit stuck on the roof. There we go. That's a nice little zip there at least. Gonna try and swing to the end. Oh no, we'll crawl. We'll crawl. Keep it safe. Keep it safe.
Trying for the better. It's just a real shame. Felicia is almost 2 whole bosses behind Nilo at this point. And with one last major skip, one that Nilo is fairly well versed in, it's not looking very good for Felicia as we move on into the Venom fight. And a very close call on this Lizard's Maze as they do that.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, I think Buddy has that comic.
Oh, do you know, I heard that actually too. Very easy. Very easy what you learn. Well, yes, Nilo. Now, this will be interesting because I wonder if he'll continue to go for. So Nilo opts most often for the swag strat here, which, yep, he's going for again, where you jump off just slightly before that little line. And if you keep pushing forward...
he missed it. Oh, no, he got it.
Got it. Oh, he's got it.
Ah, shouldn't have doubted.
There we go. Yeah, so the strat there is as opposed to jumping off at the end and holding down forward until you get to the last fan, and then you stop holding forward. If you jump off just before that little kind of line on the floor that you saw Nilo jump off, the platform before, if you just keep pushing forward and head towards the right direction of the fans, you can actually just push yourself straight into the loading zone there. And it's slightly faster, obviously, because you've fallen much faster than you have if you would have jumped and walked all the way to the end of that little ledge. So it saves a bit of time, but obviously quite risky. But who are we to question Nylo? Because clearly very well practiced in that trick.
Indeed, and quite frankly, Nylo has a lot of time to waste if need be. What was that?
I'm a bit scared then.
That must have been a weird jump, a weird unexpected jump on Nylo's part. I feel bad about that one, but again, plenty of time to waste here.
Yeah, right now, this is very interesting because, ladies and gentlemen, in the last 2 weeks, a new strat has been discovered, would you believe it? And it's related to this level here, stopping the fog, where we've now figured out a potential way to manipulate the cutscene skip that goes on, and he's going to do it, that goes on with the level that we've seen before, and it's to do... Oh, I thought he'd crashed the game then. Oh my days. Okay, he's not. No, Felicia misses the jump on the other screen in the meantime, though. And there you go. So that's just 3 buttons pressed, apparently. That's the new strat. There's a couple of ways of doing this level now with the web that all involve picking up the fire webs. But yeah, you can just not press all 3 buttons and still press all 3 buttons, it seems. And that finished the level. It's crazy. So that's a level to keep an eye on, I think, in future for all runners. Those who have taken the time to learn this new strat. It'll be very interesting to see if anyone employs that. Nylo, though, again, how he had the time and patience to discover this, I have no idea. It baffles me. But
absolutely, and it leads to a skip that's honestly really accessible for just about any runner. As long as you pick up those fire web cartridges, those web balls are guaranteed to go slower than your usual web balls, and let alone your regular web. So it's not too hard to set up to hit those switches, hit that switch 3 times in a row.
Yeah, very, very interesting. As Felicia making the way to the bottom of the elevator after successfully hitting the bugle skip this time, successfully its elevator skip as well, and will make the way to the pressers. Now, Nylo, this is the next question. 1 cycle Dr. Octopus. It looks like he's primed for it. 1, 2. Yeah, he's got it.
Amazing.
Wow, this is looking real good.
See that too often.
Yeah.
In the seeding rounds. So it's nice to get to see it in the very first race of the actual tournament. Yeah, now we're getting on the cartridge, or Carnage. Getting a good setup here. He needs to get around to find a place to pin Carnage. And perfect. Once you get him into this position, as long as you have enough web cartridges, it's just a matter of holding up and triangle and just waiting. Just waiting for 30 seconds until Carnage is out. Now let's see if Felicia can get the bugle skip.
There we go. Oh, he's through the door. Oh, and gosh, nearly fell off there, but he's opting for the right side swing. Oh, and doesn't even get a swing.
Completely missed. Did not register as a swingable surface. And that is a shame. Nylo getting a little bit of swag in by hopping in the sonic bubble and then splaying out in the falling animation before the level went out, leading into the very last level. Now, it looks like Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I'm not sure what Nylo's on pace for here, but this should easily be potentially a low 31. I'm pretty sure. His current best race time is 31:53. I think well on his way to beating that with a nice final level here. His record, I'm just going to double check what his any percent record is currently for emulator. It's 30:53. Okay, yeah, so this won't be a PB, but this will, I think, be a new best race time for Nylo, which is looking very good and is looking a lot more consistent now for these lower times for him. So again, I've pegged Nylo as the potential dark horse to win this, as the prize entrant PC runner who's come in and gonna take on all of us PlayStation runners and show us how it's done. So a bit scared to get faced up against Nylo if that will happen.
You're scared.
Yes, I am.
I'd hate to see myself. I'd hate to see myself anywhere in the vicinity of this kind of
Yeah.
skill and talent to go up against them. But uh, absolutely wonderful work by Nilo. I can't think off the top of my head anywhere that there was a there was a major folly in his work. I think he struggled a little bit with the race of the bugle. I think we got a couple shots from Denny in that one,
We did.
but
Oh,
other than that,
there was a death, wasn't there, on one of the early police chase levels? Something happened, if I'm
oh, there
recall right.
was. You're absolutely right. So just these little things can mess with a PB, but still astounding work by Nilo. Absolutely. Let me see here. I mean, a 31 is easily top 5 material.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
easily.
for sure.
Here we go.
For
Gonna round it
sure.
out. Looks like 31-23. Yeah,
Yes, indeed.
31-23.
31-23.
Well played. It's Nilo, our first winner of the knockout stage. Congratulations to Nilo. A very, very, very competitive time in a race as well. A 31 is pretty crazy. So, very, very, very respectable there. Nilo will, I'm sure, feel very good about that and feel very confident going into the semi-finals now. The winners' semis for Nilo up against the winner of Sotalia versus whoever will win out of Mountain Chuck. But we shall see. That race coming up, I'm sure, in a couple of weeks when we see Nilo again. In the meantime, Felicia, unfortunately, then dropping to the lower bracket as a result.
Indeed, but Felicia's not as far behind as I made it out to be. We only have a few levels left, a couple of them bigger boss fights, but as long as we get some good work and say stopping the fog, and maybe Felicia can even get a 1 cycle, that can help them wrap up their race time a little bit quicker. It looks like Nilo is going in to practice a bit of stopping the fog. What if mode, of course. But why are you dancing?
This is so good.
Love it.
The guys in the ambulance must have drugged me because the next thing I knew I woke up here and I can't stop dancing. You've got to get me out of
I
here.
do love that the version of dancing for the in-game stuff is just recycled animations.
Yeah, it's just like the grabbing animation and like the web ball animation without a web ball and stuff. It is so good.
It fantastic. It's wonderful that allows them to, you know, conserve on data on the disc while still getting to do something really funny and really nice for those who want to see that sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's that extra love and care that makes this game a real sleeper hit to have on any sort of top 5 Spider-Man games.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I've always thought like what a what if mode would look like on the newer Spider-Man games. Like what would that potentially look like? I wish they did employ something like that into some of the newer games. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. We'll see. It looks like Felicia closing out, stopping the fog, as we've just seen Nilo do. No dancing on Felicia's screen, but that is fine. Making the way to the final 3 is Carnage, is Doc Ock, and then it is Monster Rock as well. So we'll see if the 1 cycle is in the cards for Felicia. I believe it's Nilo, actually, who a little while ago did some testing for us and spotted that... Oh, here we go. Hold on. We got a dance break. Another dance break.
Yep, there's a being grabbed animation, which gives some funky poses, web dome explosions, more grabs. Yet some weird, weird jittery movements, and then finally an empty grab pose. And it looks like with this out of bounds, this cutscene is just going to keep playing.
Yeah, I guess, does it actually just keep going infinitely, actually? Yeah, because of the out of
That'd
bounds.
be really funny, honestly.
Okay, right. Well, this might be just where we leave Nilo then. That's fine. So yeah, oh no, maybe it's finished. No, it's still going. Yeah, it's
Nope.
just gonna keep going.
Yep. We're gonna just have a dance party on Nilo's screen while we watch Felicia finish up their Doc Ock here.
Indeed.
Oh.
So what I was going to say earlier is Nilo, I believe, did some testing not too long ago to see actually and put to rest finally the best method and the best setup for the one cycle Dr. Octopus, which nearly actually Felicia got with the web dome trick, their version of doing it, just a slither of health off. But it does seem that after I think you did 10, or I want to say 9 or 10 tests of both either the close approach where you run into Dr. Octopus to do the combos, or the jumping dive kick approach of jumping from the very back of the room. And it looks like jumping from the back actually makes the shield drop for a longer amount of time and gives you more time to pull off the combo. So dive kick is the optimal method, it would seem. So anyone struggling with the Dr. Octopus one cycle, I would suggest giving the dive kick method a try. Seems to be the best way to do it.
Monch bringing up an interesting point. I wonder if you can overflow the memory by infinitely dancing there. I can't imagine that would be the case because it doesn't seem like it's storing any memory by playing that cutscene over and over again versus something else, but it's hard to say. Not like overflowing the memory by, say, hitting the same switch 3 times.
So baffling. There's so many like strange things. I'm sure there's something else that's yet to be discovered as well that someone will figure out. That it's just like even just as crazy as all this nonsense with the stopping the fog button pressing. Felicia,
I'm very interested. Oh, go ahead.
yeah, sorry, Felicia. Just saying with the swag strap there. I've noticed Felicia quite a fan of the web pulls, and I think that comes from the hard mode runs where web pulls are kind of the default for killing people over the web balls just because of the higher health of the enemies. And so you'll see, I think, Felicia do a lot more web pulls than most people.
I see. That would make sense. I didn't realize that. That is very interesting. But Felicia, finally heading into Monster Rock, can they redeem themselves from the previous fall that they had?
Yeah, this is it now. Last race, Felicia did fall through the floor somehow. This time, let's hope for a smooth ride now. Close out this run.
Let's see it. Looking all right.
These guys are relentless.
Pretty good.
Maybe
So
I'll do
far.
an experiment of my own. I'll commentate 10 races. Some where I am giving encouraging commentary, and some where I just don't say anything, and see how many of them I jinx.
Ah, okay. That'd be good, actually, yeah, to test.
Yeah, gotta scientifically prove that I'm bad luck.
Yeah.
But we're looking good. I think they're past the point where they fell last time.
Hope so, yeah.
I'm
It
not
seems to be-
certain.
I think it's these straight stretches, I think, that are the funny ones, aren't they? So as long as we get past those first couple, as soon as we're swinging away from the camera, that's kind of when it was safe. But even then, I'm sure probably something could still go wrong.
Indeed, can't count it out. I've absolutely ruined a good comics run because I ended up going too slow on Monster Rock. I got caught up on the walls after gathering the last comic book, and I died right in the last stretch.
Oh, man.
It was an absolute shame, and that just goes to show that you can't take even fairly, predictable segments like Monster Rock for granted.
Yeah, comic runs especially. Just collecting this last corner. I believe it's this corner here that Felicia's on now where the comic could be. Rough,
Right, I
just
believe
because
so.
of in awkward places, and if you miss it, you got to be really quick to try and catch it before Monstrock runs ahead of you massively. And he always seems to speed up on these final kind of stretches as well, which is not fun when you are trying to pick up that comic. So yeah, comic runs, when you make it so far as well, especially with all the comics, to miss on the like second to last or last one in this area is not fun. As there we go, Felicia finishes on a
There it is.
40-36. Amazing stuff. Congratulations.
Good job, Felicia.
All right. Well, let's have a quick word then with both runners if they would like to. I will let them know that they can bob up into our chat. And hopefully we can see both soon as, yeah, Nilo taking the victory here. Felicia had a couple of stumbling blocks to get 40-36 there in comparison to Nilo's 31-23. But overall, good races. Here they are. Here they both are. Guys, congratulations, both runners. How are you both
Thank you.
feeling after that?
Well, it was pretty good run, despite like a death in police chopper chase. That was unfortunate. I lost like 20 seconds there, but yeah, still a good run. Like
Yeah.
30 seconds away from PB is pretty good.
Absolutely. And you hit some of the hardest stuff for sure. It was just a few of these little things that just, have to clean up here and there. That just kept you away from that PB, but you really did do some solid work. Fantastic job.
Thank you.
Now,
Felicia,
yeah, go ahead.
how do
are
you
feeling?
feel?
I feel burnt to a crisp in this game.
Yeah.
I feel like my body was just rejecting doing every single trick in this run. This is the worst I've had in like a year, I think. I think it's a sign that I need to cut back on this. In fact, I'm just gonna say this, guys. I'm sorry to say this on stream, but I think I need to drop out of the rest of the tournament because I was just not having fun during that last race. I mean, if you guys are having fun watching the race, that's great, but I wasn't playing my best. I wasn't feeling my best, and, nobody is happy because then you don't get a good run to watch from me, and I'm miserable as I run it. So I think for the sake of my mental health and for everybody's fun, after this race, I need a forfeit from the rest of the tournament.
Well, yeah, that's fair enough.
Sorry to drop that bombshell, but I almost did. See, the thing is, I almost didn't because I realized earlier this week or last week that I was just not feeling the game at all anymore. But I was like, well, let's at least finish the tournament. But then in a practice session, I was so annoyed at the game that I just almost couldn't sleep that night. And I thought, maybe just thinking doing it this for fun, for my friends on stream will make it better, and it didn't. So, not that you guys aren't great. You guys are some of the coolest people I chat with, but I think for the sake of my mental health and for the rest of the tournament being something fun to watch, I need to step away after this round, and whoever I would face next can advance ahead.
Wow. Well, if that is the case, Felicia, well, we thank you for your runs. Obviously, really, really good showing as well. You definitely shouldn't be disappointed. And I guess a nice PSA for everyone who's tuning in and watching. Mental health should take priority over everything else. So make sure you look after yourself.
Absolutely.
Also, I forgot to turn FDS on again, so that's another problem.
Oh, no. All right.
I see.
But even that wouldn't have saved anything, I don't think.
That would have just helped with load times a little bit. But even so, Felicia, we appreciate your run. It was entertaining to watch. I know it was a little rougher this time, but it was an entertaining watch. But we respect your decision to do what's best for you in this case, and we wish you good luck, whether you decide to come back to it or if you want to take that permanent break. That's perfectly fine. Good luck to you.
Thanks, guys. Yeah.
Yeah, and shout out everyone, if you're not already following Felicia on Twitch, Felicia doing lots of other things that aren't Spider-Man related, of course, in the last couple of days and weeks as well. So keep an eye on what Felicia's
Yeah.
doing.
Thanks.
Brilliant. Right. Nilo, then. One question I did want to ask, actually. On Venom Chase, there was a point in the level where it looked like I don't know if it was intentional or not. When you zipped behind you, you almost went into like the little flying spider animation. Was that intentional, or was that a little trick?
No.
Oh, no, okay.
No,
I wasn't sure.
completely. It happened. I just wanted to swing up.
Okay.
Maybe I
That's
was still pressing like the swing key by mistake, and it started like the flying spider for some reason, but it wasn't intentional.
okay. I wasn't sure if we were like witnessing the birth of a new strat there. I got very excited, but that's fine. But speaking of new strats, obviously, a couple of things you pulled off. Obviously, we saw the tunnel crawl skip. We saw you skip under the doors in Venom Puzzle as well, and then the backup as well on Bugle Basement. How are you finding the consistency now of these skips? You seem to be like breezing over them all fairly easily now.
And I'm feeling that a lot of the skips I'm pretty consistent to them. So like Bugle Basement, I failed the normal one because the camera for some reason like turned too much on the right when I jumped over the fire, and I tried to adjust it on the fly, but it didn't work. So I had to use the backup. But apart from that, really, then there weren't many mistakes in the run. Like apart from police chopper chase, like I pressed like left for 2 frames and I swinged in those frames, so I went completely on the left by mistake. And when I was trying to recover, I got shot by the police, and I and I fell there, and I had to restart the level. That was very unfortunate, but it happens, unfortunately. Luckily, J. Jonah Jameson didn't meme me.
Yeah.
Didn't do something bad. So at least there.
Yes, at least we had some luck. Some NPCs were kind, some were not. I think that's a nice summary of your run, yeah, for sure. Well,
Yeah.
Chuck, unless you have any final questions, I think we can potentially prepare for the next race.
No, I think I'm all set, especially since we have about 2 minutes before the next race is supposed to start.
Lovely.
So, thank you, runners, for your runs. You both did fantastic work, and we're looking forward to seeing more from you, Nilo, in the rest of this tournament, and from you, Felicia, in whatever games you pursue in the future.
Indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be back very soon with more runs. It's Zojolix versus Crypto up next. Stay tuned for that. Thank you very much.